Good evening, Rose. How are you?
Hi, hello, Annie. Is this Annie? Hello, can
Yeah,
you hear me?
we can see we can hear you in from your phone. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm so sorry. I have to use my computer and my cell phone at the same time because I'm getting the audio in my cell phone. Wait, I would like to check the sharing of screen.
Okay, you can share. If you need help, and I like to, so you just try. Okay.
Wait, where to share? So how can I share my screen now?
Yeah. If you use it, your computer, you can use another account named Rose. You use Rose to share it, and
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think you can work it now. Yeah, it can work now. Cause yeah, there is an authority that did it for you.
I cannot see my computer. I
You
cannot see
can
my PowerPoint.
you can share now. You can share your screen now. Cause yeah, the authority has been authorized already.
Where to? How come? I don't know where to.
And there is a button, I think it's underlined, yeah, at the bottom of your screen, and there is a arrow and then share. And maybe I can take a photo for you and you can check your phone, okay?
All right. Oh
Okay.
yeah, it's here.
You can see that,
Okay.
right?
Wait.
Oh, it works.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Is it working now?
Yeah. Beautiful PowerPoint. We
Oh.
can see now.
Mm-hmm. So it's working now.
Yeah.
Mm, from beginning. It's very slow.
Mm,
Is it working?
yeah.
So wait, how to do this? The center view. All right. And then, oh, what happened?
Yeah. Works now.
So is it working?
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't see myself. I don't know if you can see me. Can you see me?
I think you can turn on the video on the left hand. Yeah, the button of the left hand side, there is a video, and you can turn it using your Rose account.
Oh, um, that is it.
Otherwise, we have time. Yeah, 10 more minutes. So, yeah, hello. We can see you, Rose.
Can you see me now?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I cannot see myself. Anyway,
So
all right.
nice. Yeah, so beautiful you are.
No, I'm very old. Okay.
All
All
right.
right. So, hello.
Hi.
How are you all? Good evening.
Good evening.
How
Well,
is everybody now?
yeah, just turn on your videos, yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, shall we start now?
Yeah, we can see each other now.
Okay. All right. So, good evening again, everyone. Welcome to our second meeting. This is our second meeting, right?
Yeah,
Yes. All right. So, I hope that everybody are in good condition. Is my sound okay or my audio is okay?
all good. Thank you.
All
Everything good.
good? Oh,
Yeah,
good. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So, how is everybody tonight? Is it good? How is the weather in your place?
they respond very good and fine. Okay. Thank you for
Oh,
asking.
okay. All right. So, as I have promised last time, I will going to share about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I think that some of you are familiar with mental health,
Yeah,
but of course, some are not because, we are very busy every day with our different activities. So that's why sometimes we are not very we are not very concerned of our mental health, right?
yeah.
Yes.
I,
I have a short story to tell. In my country, mental health prior to the pandemic, the COVID-19, mental health is not that a serious issue in my country. But during the pandemic, during the COVID-19, mental health became a big issue. I don't know in your country. What do you think? For those who can speak English, you try your best to talk, to share, even just a little. It's okay.
okay. So
Yeah.
actually in China, the mental health issues, yeah, prior to COVID-19 and cause the stress. So they always feel stressful. So is it mental health? I'm not sure. Stressful and not happy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes, many people
also,
suffered from stress.
yeah, stress and also, yeah, because the philosophy is quite different and the value is different and the thing, yeah, maybe the value yeah, have the wrong views and the value others very much. So that's why I think a big issue disorder in the mental health.
Yes. Yeah, when some people hear about the word or learn about the word mental health, they are thinking that it's about a disorder. Specifically, it's about psychological disorder.
Yeah.
But yes, but in our practice of psychology, it is unethical to consider a certain psychological concern to consider it as a disorder because sometimes there are some situations or risk factors that pushes or that force people to suffer from different psychological disorder. But it varies because after those stress, after those pressure in the environment, they will go back to their normal functioning. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so as I was saying, um after or during the COVID-19 here in my country, there are many people that suffer from mental health, suffered from stress, which before we are not considering that as a big issue. But
Yeah.
because we had also a very strict um, strict rules in
Mhm.
order to control the spread of COVID-19. I'm very sure in your place also is the same. Am I right?
Yeah. So problems, yeah, big problems such as we are in somehow in a prison,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yes.
yeah, it's not so free, no freedom, and
Mm-hmm.
also facing many problems, such as suddenly cessation and other society,
Mm-hmm.
and especially for the adults, and they need to raise their family, and they have many questions, so they feel more and more stressful. Yeah, so that's the
Mm-hmm.
issues.
Yes. So is it moving? I think my PowerPoint is not moving. I'm supposed to be on the second slide or third slide.
Maybe you can use the arrow.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm pressing it.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, it works now. We can see.
Can you see it now?
Yeah. We can see
Oh
December
gosh.
20th, 2024.
Oh, how about this?
Beautiful photo.
What do you see now?
Condition
Mental
of
health, condition of wellness.
wellness.
Do you see mental health and condition of wellness?
Condition of wellness. Yeah, I think so. So,
Okay. So do you see the brain that is being watered by hand? Do you see that?
sorry, I cannot follow you just now.
Okay. What do you see now in your screen?
We can see mental health and the condition of wellness.
All right, perfect. Okay, so let's start. So when we say mental health is a condition of wellness. When we say wellness, this is the condition of the body and mind, the body and mind,
Yeah,
wellness of people. When we say wellness, this is the absence of disease, absence, whether the disease or illness is psychological or physical. If you still remember, last time I told you that one of the psychologists told us, we learned about that anything, he said that anything psychological is biological and vice versa, meaning anything biological is psychological. It means that whatever is the problem in the physical body, the mind will be affected. Whatever the problem in the mind, the body will be affected. So when we say condition of wellness, it allows people to manage life stressors. Like for instance, are you tired of your job? Yes or no?
currently for my job,
Mm,
my full-time job, I enjoy it because this is a voluntary job, and I love it.
mm-hmm,
For the job to earn life, maybe not. Maybe
mm-hmm,
yeah, sometimes a bit tired of. Okay,
mm-hmm.
to
All
be
right.
honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it is just a part-time job, well, the pressure is not that much. Unlike if you are working full-time, wherein sometimes you're already at home, but then you need to work. You still need to work.
Yeah.
Sometimes you bring home paperwork, right? If,
Mhm.
for instance, if you experience working full-time, me as a teacher, I can tell you that sometimes I work like 8 hours or no, 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours a day. And then when I get back home, I'm still working because there are so many things to do,
Yeah.
right?
Homework,
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
housework.
Yeah. Aside from the household, there are still paperwork that we need to do at home. Some people, when they are working so much, working overtime, they are prone to stress. When we say prone to stress, meaning the tendency to suffer from stress is very high, right?
Yeah.
But if you are working part-time, the stress is not that much. You will have less stress. But
Mm-hmm.
then of course, many people, they have different ways on how to handle life stressor. For some people who have a very good skills, let's say wellness skills or mental health skills, they are very good in how to manage the stress, whether the stress is coming from the family, from the environment, from the job, they know how to manage. But there are people that are very sensitive and very weak. Just few stressor or few pressure from work, from environment, from family, they're getting sick. They're getting ill. They are experiencing different pains or they are suffering. So condition of wellness also focus on the potential of the person, whether the person will be able to manage the stressor properly or not. And then there is also possibility to learn effectively. I mean, people who have a very good mental health management or wellness condition, a very good wellness condition, they know how to handle effectively, and they can perform successfully in work, and then they can also participate in their community. I mean, if you are well adjusted, you know how to manage the pressure in the environment, whether it is in the environment or in any other, or whatever the cause of the stress, then definitely you can contribute more in the community, just like the community of BPI, right? Your organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you so much
Yes.
for your
Yeah.
compliment.
Um,
Yes.
yes. If you know how to adjust, if you know how to handle or how to manage, when we say handle, manage, these are the same. Although these are different words, but the meaning is the same. If you
Yeah.
know how to manage properly, if you know how to handle properly, then definitely you will not be affected. Whether the situation or the condition is stressful, you will not be affected. So
Yeah.
that's why you can participate more in the community. Sometimes you will realize that some people, in spite of their busy schedule, they still have time to participate or to do volunteer activities, right?
Yeah.
But others, they will have difficulties. They cannot because we have individual differences. What I can do, you cannot do. What you can do, I cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, by the way, if you have any question or clarification, please let me know. Okay. So let's talk about how the World Health Organization identify mental health. Okay. I am not using very technical word here because I am presuming that, well, of course, aside from difficulties in English communication, I just want to deliver it very simple to the point that it will be understood, it will be clear. So at least you can say it in your own word, no matter how simple word in English. What is important is you can say it in your own words in English because one of the goal is to help you to speak English, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you familiar with WHO?
Yes. Oh, a bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Yes. Yes. All the countries in the world, they have representative in the World Health Organization because this organization is in charge of taking care of all the concern of people in terms of health. Health not only in one country but also in almost all countries. Okay, so mental health, according to WHO, it is an integral component of health and well-being. Okay, integral meaning there are so many things that affects. the health and well-being of the person. So WHO described mental health as integral component of health and well-being. In other words, there are many factors that affects the mental health of people. Not only one, not only two, but many. Later, we will going to identify what are those. Okay. Now,
Okay.
also, WHO describe mental health as a way to build a relationship. In other words, if people have a very good mental health, a very, shall we say, healthy, or shall we say, wellness, a very good health, mental mental health, there is no suffering, there is no difficulties, or shall we say, because there's no absolute no, right? I cannot really say that there's no suffering. Maybe the suffering is very minimal, less.
Yes.
Yes, less or minimal. Okay, because we also need some stressors. We also need some or a little stress to bring out our creativity, to to excite us or to force us to bring out our creativity in life, like for instance in solving problems, because every day we have problems, every encounter sometimes there are challenges. So mental health is one of the factor that will help us to build relationship. In other words, because of less suffering, less illness, less disease, we have a very good relation. If there is no pain in the body, how does it feel? Are you happy or are you sad?
Yeah. So it has.
Happy or sad?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
If we have less stress, meaning
Mhm.
very few stress and very few challenges, how does it feel? Happy or sad?
Not so happy.
Not so happy. Okay.
Because you cannot see, yeah, you have no feeling of satisfactory, yeah, satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you think, yeah, no challenge and no satisfaction. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
feeling of, so yeah, in my
All
mind,
right.
I'm not sure. So
Mm-hmm.
just
Yes,
try
perfect.
to listen to your instructions.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Yes, that's correct. Because people will not be satisfied, whatever it is. Because there is no satisfaction in this world. People will not be satisfied unless you realize and you practice the teaching, some teachings or wisdom in Buddhism or maybe in your own faith, wherein you will realize emptiness, wherein you are happy with small things, with small accomplishment, you are happy. Okay, so let's go back. So normally, if there are few stress in our life, few challenges, few problems, when we say few, maybe a little or not so much, of course, we will feel happy. We will feel satisfied. Because
Yeah,
compared to those who have many problems, many challenges, many stress, we cannot say that they are happy. Definitely they feel sad, right? Okay. So in other words, mental health can help us to build a relationship because naturally when people are not suffering from any physical or psychological pain, definitely the attitude is joyful or happy. Okay.
yeah,
And then it also said that it shaped the world we live in. Shape the world we live in. So we perceive the world, the environment, as a good environment. Even sometimes it is not so good because you feel happy because you realize that the true value the true value in this or the most important in this world is health. One of the most important thing in this world is health, because if you are healthy physically and psychologically, then you can do so much, right? You
yeah,
can do so much if you are healthy. But if you have sick, if you are suffering, if you have disease, Even if you have more money, well, your money can help you to go to the hospital to see a doctor, to consult a doctor, right? But then you are still in the hospital. Definitely, we cannot say that you will be happy. But if you are healthy, even if you just have a few money, just a little, a
Yeah.
very few money, but you are healthy because no pain. There's no pain in the body, no physical pain, no psychological pain. Oh, life is so good. Then you can do so much. Yes. And you can help other people as well. Okay? So it shaped the world we live in. In other words, if there is a joy in our heart because of our condition, we see the beauty or the goodness in this world, or maybe in your environment, the goodness in your environment.
Yes, yes.
Okay? Even, yes, even sometimes there are not so good people, meaning toxic people. There are toxic people in the environment. Have you heard about the toxic word? Toxic people?
Yeah, yeah, I like
Mhm.
the word. Yeah, toxic.
Yes,
Toxic
yes.
people.
The,
Evil people.
mhm. Yes. Yeah. This is very common term that are used by many employees in the workplace when they are referring to their boss sometimes.
Oh,
They
I
say,
see.
or yes, or sometimes to coworker, co-employee who are not so good in dealing with them. Because remember, there are different types of personality. Two general personality are the pessimist and the optimist, right? Wherein the pessimist, they view the world as, full of negatives. In other words, they see the world negatively, while the optimist, they view the world positively, that there is always goodness in this world, right? Okay. So might as well remain to those people who view the world as positive. So your outlook in life will also be positive, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. And then also, it also tells about basic human right. So how come there is human right here? Is it about politics? No. What the WHO is trying to tell here is that everybody are entitled to be healthy. That's why it is considered as a basic human right,
Oh,
meaning it is
interesting.
a
That definition is very interesting.
yes. It is part of the responsibility of the government to make it sure that the people are healthy. That's why in every country, there is a Department of Health, right? In
Mm,
every country, like in my country, we have Department of Health.
yeah.
This Department of Health, yeah, this government office is trying to manage all the hospitals, in other words, the health of the people. Although I'm not saying 100% that people are satisfied in the services given by a particular government or a particular country, right?
But they're trying the,
No.
yeah, I think.
Yeah, but it is part of the responsibility of the government
Yeah.
to yeah to see to it that they are serving all those government officials, especially the Department of Health, is serving the people in terms of the need in terms of health. That's why it is considered as a basic human right. Everybody are entitled to to be healthy and to be happy, and that is by improving all the aspects in the life of people, all aspects in the life of people, meaning um safe workplace, safe environment, something like that. Okay, do you have any question?
Mm, yes.
Mhm.
So, so how about the mental health? Yeah, just now, the most of the governments you try their best to serve the people and to have the yeah physical health, such as yeah to establish the hospitals and ventilations, and in that way and to satisfy and to yeah to help the people to enjoy the human rights. Now,
Hmm.
but now, how about the mental health? How can they sort out manage this kind of issue? The mental health.
Okay. Yeah. It's also the same. If people are sick, let's say headache or lung problem or stomach problem, so people will go to, if people do not have much money to go to the private hospital because it's expensive, right? They
Mm-hmm.
go to government hospitals. So the government hospital will help them. So that is the support of the government in terms of basic human right. Now, in terms of mental health, it is the same because in many hospitals there is a department, there is an area in that hospital that is also taking care of the mental health of the people.
Wow.
Now, after the diagnosis, after all the tests conducted to a person, if there is no biological problem or physical problem, but then the person is still suffering, then the doctor will refer the person to a doctor, particularly maybe to a psychologist, maybe to a psychiatrist. Now, these are two different things. The psychologist, like me, I am a practicing psychologist, but my practice is mostly in the university. So it's more on the school psychology, right? While the other one, the psychiatrist is a medical doctor that is treating a mental disorder. Mental disorder like schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is the worst psychological disorder. These are the people suffering from a very difficult psychological problem because they are not in reality anymore. They need medicine. But for some simple psychological concern like anxiety or depression, if these are not serious, the psychologist can manage,
Oh,
can
yeah.
help.
Yes, thank you so
Yes.
much. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Do you have any other question?
Mm. Yeah, according to my best knowledge, and maybe um, in mainland of China, maybe there is no area about mental health, but maybe yeah, currently more and more generally and gradually more and more yeah clinics such as the mental health psychologists
Mhm.
boom up. I'm not sure.
Mm. Yeah. In my country before, that was long, long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
People are not also very much concerned about psychology because
Yeah.
yeah, many of the Asian countries are not that good. I mean, not so rich.
Yeah.
Practically, frankly speaking, not so rich.
Yeah.
So people are not bothered about mental health because they are more busy about how to look for money. So they are more focused on looking money in finding job. We are not entertaining the feeling of depression, the feeling of anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
because yes, because most of the poor countries, they are more particular on how to survive,
Yeah, just
how to survive,
survive.
how to
Yeah,
look for
survive.
money. I think it's the
Earn a
same,
life.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but then after during the pandemic or even after the pandemic until now, we have still many cases of people suffering from depression and from anxiety because people became aware of their mental health. They were able to realize that they are already suffering because before people are not very much concerned about this. Like for instance, there are some people suffering from depression. Sometimes they are crying. The serious situation is that some people are committing suicide, and then maybe members of the family, they are not aware of what is the reason. because it is internal. The suffering is internal. Like in case of depression, if depression is too much, if it is diagnosed as clinical depression, so if that will not be addressed properly, then the person might commit suicide.
Yeah,
Yes. So
serious
that's
problem.
why it, yes, yes, that's why mental health now in my country is considered. And also the thing that we say, the work life balance. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
Work life balance. I don't know if you practice that in your country. In my country, we are also practicing that work life balance. Like if we think, and if we feel that the work is too much, then we will complain. We will complain. But then, of course, the management have their own way on how to, you know, they have their own way on how to justify the busy schedule or too much work, right? They have
Mm-hmm.
their own ways. Like, for instance, all right, so maybe the boss will say, okay, for your work life balance, for you to have a very good mental health, don't force yourself to do overtime work. Only those who are willing to do overtime work will have extra pay. So what will happen now? Uh, What will happen? So people, because they want extra money, they will be forced to work overtime, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
Yes. But then their mental health will suffer because sometimes, even if the mind is willing, the body is not.
no, yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Mm-hmm.
body is not,
Yes.
and the body
Yes.
cannot
Yes.
function the mental.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. The mind can still work, but the body cannot. Or sometimes the body is still willing, but the mind is not. It depends because it varies from person to person. Like if you will see the word here, mental health varies from person to person. It means that um it varies. It will be depend from one person to another person, just like what I had told you a while ago. In managing stress, there are people that can easily manage stress, but there are some people who are having difficulties managing stress, even if they undergo different trainings on how to handle stressful situation. Because in some company, in some organization, they are very much concerned on the mental health of their people. So they have programs about mental health. Because, yeah, let's face it, life is not only working. We are human beings. We are not AI. Do you agree? Yes, we're not robots.
AI
We are
can,
human beings.
yeah,
Yes.
AI can never rest. Yeah, it can
Mm.
work and work.
Yes. Yes. Okay, let's give to AI all the time for as long as he wanted or they wanted to work. Okay, let's allow them to work. But poor people, to enjoy life. Because when we enjoy life, we become more positive. We will have more positive outlook in life. And if we have more positive outlook in life, we can serve others. We can help others, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we understand the suffering of other people. Okay, so don't forget, wherever you are, what in whatever country you are now, mental health is a basic human right. It's part of the basic human right. All right. Okay, so let's move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And then it is also crucial to personal, community, and socioeconomic development. In other words, um, for one community to become more progressive, to become more productive, so that
Mhm.
people will become more efficient, will become more effective in their job and in their services, they must enjoy mental health. In other words, they must have a very good mental
Mental
health.
health. Yes.
Yes,
Relatively.
because
Yeah.
yes, because when people are sick, they cannot go to work. They cannot serve the community.
No.
The economy will be affected, right?
Yeah.
So yes, mental health is accompanied by or other factors in the country is anchored to mental health. So that's why the World Health Organization was able to realize the value of mental health of people.
Yeah.
This is the reason why they became concerned on the mental health of people. All right. Okay. What is going on? Okay, let's move on.
Mhm. Actually, the PowerPoint is still on the World Health Organization page. So that's it. Okay, it works now. Thank you.
It works now?
Yeah,
Okay.
mental health varies from person to person.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
Are you now looking at mental health issues?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. All right. So, what about the mental health issues? You know what is the meaning of issues, right? Anybody who would like to, do you want me to elaborate on that?
On the
Okay.
mental
When we
health
say
issue.
issues, yeah, issues, these are concern, just like social issues, political issues.
Yeah,
So there are also mental health issues.
yes.
These are like problems that should be addressed not only by the government, but other sectors in the government or other sectors. Okay. So
Mhm.
mental health issues, these are about mental illnesses. When we say mental illnesses, these are the psychological disorder, psychological problem or psychological diseases. But then if these are just simple depression or simple anxiety or anger management, as much as possible in the practice of psychology, we don't call them disorder. But
Okay.
yes, because there is a stigma, right? I don't know if this is also true to your country because in some countries in Asia, when people learn that people are consulting a psychologist, they are thinking that there is something wrong with the person. The person is sick. But actually, to consult a psychologist is a very good, is a healthy way on how to take care of the mind and the body because it's part of health. Just like when you have headache, just like when you have there is a problem in any organs in the body, we are consulting a medical doctor, right? So if there is a problem also or issues, no matter how simple, no matter how serious, so mental health is also important. So mental illnesses and then psychological impairment and then of course other mental state. So all of this, they are linked to severe suffering because if there is a pain, definitely there is suffering. Regardless of the pain, definitely the person will suffer. And then the functional impairment, there will be a functional impairment. When we say functional impairment, when people are suffering from, let's say, let's take the psychological problem of depression. When people are suffering from depression, of course they cannot go to work. Even if they go to work, the quality of work that they will do will be affected. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, if there is a problem bothering you, if you feel very sad and you don't know what is the reason why you feel sad, do you think you can say that the quality of your job or the quality of your work is good? Of course not, right?
Yeah.
Yes, because there is something that is bothering to you. If there is something bothering to a person, then definitely the work will be affected. The relationship will be affected. Because sometimes there are people who have a very bad mood. Why they have a very bad mood? It's because there is pain inside, or maybe not always psychological. there is physical pain. If there is a physical pain, like for instance, migraine, you know what is migraine?
Mm,
Migraine, headache,
migraine, headache.
migraine, yes. Migraine is a kind of headache. I don't know if there is a medicine for migraine, but many doctors are telling that rest is one way to overcome migraine, aside from medicine, aside from tablets or whatever medicine that the doctor will be given to the patient. But rest will help. Why? Because to slow down the function of the neurons, because every day when we are awake, the neurons are very busy working because of so many things that we see, that we process in the environment. Okay. Or sometimes there is a self harm risk. What do we mean by self harm risk? This is when the person is really suffering from a serious psychological disorder, they will commit suicide,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know if there are data that are published wherein the number of people committing suicide are aware, or the people in one country are aware of the number of people who are committing suicide. They are published. Maybe in the Department of Health, like in our case in my country, if we need the data about number of people who are suffering or who committed suicide, we can get that data. It
Yeah.
depends on the country. Yeah, it depends on the rules of the country. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
self-harm risk, well, of course, it's not always suicide. Sometimes they are hurting themselves. They are hurting themselves, or sometimes they are hurting other people.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yes. So all of these are called mental health issues. People with mental health concern have lower levels of mental well-being. The mental well-being will be affected if the mental health concern, or if the mental health is lower, the mental well-being will be affected, because mental well-being is about healthy mind and body. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on. Okay. So let's talk about the determinants of mental health. When we say determinants of mental health, this makes people more vulnerable to mental health problems. There are, as I have mentioned a while ago, there are something in the environment that will trigger the psychological problem, or that will harm the mental health of the people. Like, for instance, unfavorable social, economic, geopolitical, environmental circumstances that contribute to health condition. The very main, or shall we say, one of the common situation is poverty. Do you think poverty will give mental health problem with people?
Yes.
How?
Mm, such as, yeah, if there always a lack of a material, material suppose material
Mm-hmm.
things, and lack of and they think, yeah, in other way, maybe steal, and maybe to rob, rap, and so in that way they will um have fear inside, and also harm
Mm-hmm.
others and themselves. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
mental health
Yes.
issues.
Yes. Very good. Thank you, Enid. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay. Um, Poverty is a very serious problem in many countries, not only Asian countries, because, when we talk about poverty, people are always thinking about the Asian countries, right? But
Well,
poverty,
yeah,
yes,
everywhere.
yes, everywhere. We just don't know what is poverty in other places, but definitely there are not all people in every country are rich. There are also poor people
Yeah.
for whatever reason we don't know. But of course, poverty will really give us mental health problems. Like for instance, if you are a parent, if you have many children, if you have many children, like in my country, oh my goodness, there are so many people, like in my place. That's why I keep on telling you that um, the place where I am now is crowded. There are so many people here. Okay, so if you are a parent and you have many children and you have limited job, I mean, you don't have a permanent job. So it means that you don't have a permanent salary. If you don't have a permanent salary, then definitely you cannot afford to buy all the needs of your children. That's why we cannot blame other countries if they have a rule wherein people are just only allowed for one child or two child. But then I don't know if you are aware because now many people, many countries, their population are getting older and older. Are you aware of that?
Yes. Biggest
Yes.
society issue.
Yes. Yeah, just like in Singapore, in Japan, in Hong Kong, even in
Absolutely.
Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the population are older. They don't have younger population. That's
Exactly.
why the job um, needed by these countries is related to aged care.
Mm, yeah.
Aged
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. A big stress.
Yes, because the population are aging.
A
So at
Asian.
least the Asian people they can go out of their country and go to this country and to have a job.
Yes.
So poverty is really a big factor for mental health because when the family is poor, they cannot buy the food, the nutritious food for their kids. They cannot have a very good housing condition. They cannot have a very good environment. Everything is not good. Everything is very poor, right? So it leads to mental health problem. Not only that, the thinking, the fact that you are a mother or you are a father, when you are thinking too much thinking on where to look for money so
Mm-hmm.
that you can have money to buy food for your kids. Oh my goodness, that's very stressful.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And such kind of
So
stress from your parents can influence the children. And the most important thing is they such kind of children and cannot have a good education and you
mm-hmm,
time to enjoy the human rights and such
mm-hmm.
as to serve others and yeah have no issue have no your opinion in that way.
Yes, definitely the children will be affected because some children are very smart. They will question their parents. How come you cannot give this? How come you cannot give this? We are your children. You're supposed to. Yes. But then some children are very very good children.
Mm-hmm.
They understand. That's why, sometimes it breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart when I see some kids in the roads who are working because that is a violation of human rights
Mm-hmm.
because children are not supposed to work. Minors are not supposed to work. They should go to school.
Yeah.
They should go to school. They must have a very good condition, like
Mm-hmm.
a very good housing condition, a very good school. This is part of their right. So sometimes, yeah, we cannot blame some countries if in the past, some countries, they are very strict in controlling the population because they know the responsibility. right? Yes. Right. And then also, what are the other determinants of mental health that causes this unfavorable situation? Um, violence, because there is poverty, definitely there is a violence. In
Mm,
other words, there are many different kinds of crime, right? There are
mm,
different kinds of crime because of poverty, because everybody wants to look for money in whatever ways. So they involve themselves into different, maybe different vices or different way. Okay, and then what else? Inequality and environmental deprivation. Environmental deprivation is like depriving people of their rights of having a very good environment. Like for instance, those who are living in a very populated place where there are many people and there are many cars, who gives many smoke that will be bad for the health, right? Okay.
mm.
So yeah, so these are pertaining to this problem. And then another determinants is the genes. Do you believe that there are people born who are predisposed for mental health, and there are also people who are not predisposed for mental health? In other words, the risk, the tendency for the people to suffer from mental health is very high because it is in their DNA. It's in the DNA.
Yeah, I totally
Yes.
agree. Agree. Yeah.
Yes, because sometimes no matter how good is the environment, if the person, or if some people are predisposed to mental health problem, predisposed to having a criminal mind, then definitely that person will be affected. So that's why there should be an effort to do, like the parents should do something so that the children will not encounter any triggers, so that mental health problems will manifest or will be experienced by their children. We have to understand that why is it that there are bad people, why is it that there are very good people, because sometimes one of the determinants is in the genes. But then, of course, if it is in the genes, there are ways on how to handle it, on how to manage it. But sometimes there is no way.
Yeah.
You get
A
it?
long, yeah, a
Yes.
long way to go to change the transform the genes. Yes.
There are some studies in the area of medical practice, like for instance, they call it genetic engineers. Do you know that?
Yes.
Genetic engineers. Yes.
Yes. Yes. The
The
engineers, especially in
yes.
transplanting. Yeah.
They yeah. The genetic engineers, they can modify, they can erase some of the, shall we say, unfavorable traits of the person, so that the person will not suffer so much. But then I don't know how far is the research on this. Well, maybe it's getting uh, better and better, so that people will become more considerate with each other. Yes. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Hopefully,
but then sometimes,
yeah,
yes,
you
go ahead.
can achieve something. Yeah. Hopefully in this, yeah, the genuine engineering, generic
Genetic engineers.
engineering, yeah, in that field, yeah, hopefully it can be favorable to the people.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But then, of course, the main concern here also is the expenses. You know,
Yes,
it, yes, it
lots
will
of
be
time,
very
lots of
expensive.
money, yeah, wealth.
Hmm. So, are there cases? that you know about this in your country?
Sorry.
Are there cases that you know about this in your country? The genetic engineer on how they do it?
Um, in my country, I never heard about it, but I know, yeah, generic engineering, yeah, especially in the sharp, in top area and maybe in
Mm-hmm.
America. Yes, I heard
Mm-hmm.
about it long time ago. I don't know yet
Mm-hmm.
the development. Yeah, how does it work now? No.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Because sometimes, you will ask when you are reflecting, how come that there are bad people? Even sometimes they go to school, they have a very good education, but still they are doing bad things. But
Mm,
then there are some people who do not have much education. These are good people.
yeah.
Yes. Because as we said, there is a predisposition. There is a predisposition. There are people that are highly predisposed, and there are people that are not highly predisposed. Just like when suffering from psychological problem or psychological disorder, many of the psychological disorder are manifesting in one person because of genes. Like in the case of schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is the worst psychological disorder. This kind of disease is transferred from one person to another person. Like for instance, in the family, if there are history of this, then we can never tell. So that's why if the members of the family are aware that they have this case with their other relative, they choose not to have kids because the tendency, the risk is very high. In other words, they are predisposed. We can never tell.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So yeah, so that kind of a gym is so yeah, it's so bad. So
Yes. It
but
can transfer.
yeah, transfer.
Yes. Sometimes, even if it is not the psychological problem is not manifesting in you, but you are a carrier. Let's say you are a lady or you are a man.
Mm-hmm.
It is not manifesting in you. You don't experience that, but you are a carrier. When the time come that you will have your own kids, maybe there is a big possibility that your kids will have. We
In the
cannot tell.
gym. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I can
That's why
understand.
it.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, the manifestation, yeah, I suggest the such kind of features can be hidden in your genes, and you can
Mm-hmm,
carry, yeah, you can transfer to your children, your next generation, but
mm-hmm,
you yourself cannot be manifested. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yes. It's possible that you are a carrier, but you are not suffering from it. But you are a carrier. You can
Yeah.
transfer it.
Area. Yes.
Yes. Okay. What's next? All right. So another example would be harsh parenting and physical punishment. Sometimes harsh parenting is considered a way of giving discipline to children. I'm
Mm.
sure some of you are married, some of you have children. Are there married participants here?
Yeah,
Are
I
the
think so.
participants
Yeah.
are all single?
Not all single. Yeah, some of
All
them are
right.
late women, and they have the
Mm-hmm.
family line.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So for parents, sometimes when we give discipline to our children in the form of punishment, because in our mind we are not giving them punishment. We are giving them discipline. We are teaching them discipline, isn't it?
Yeah, we just yeah,
Yes.
we has the intention to give them discipline.
Yes. The intention is for them to learn, to realize.
Yeah.
even if they are kids, because when they grow up, I don't know, maybe I am more traditional. I am in favor of giving punishment in order to discipline, but not harsh. Not harsh. I don't like harsh discipline. My way is very diplomatic. Okay. Yes. Even, even if kids do not understand, we have to explain what is their mistakes. We have to explain why we give punishment. And we have to explain that the punishment that we give is not actually to hurt them, but to help them to discipline. Because if they don't know how to follow rules and regulation when they grow up, what will happen? So that's why discipline will really start within the family. Agree? Can
Mm,
we hear some of the parents?
yeah. Yeah. I think let's find it out. Yeah, Lotus is a parent, right? Lotus, you have you have a daughter. Yeah. So so for this topic, yeah, Dr. Rose. So what shall we learn from the physical punishment? Is it good or not? Harsh is not good, right? And
Hmm.
so especially the way we need to and we need to reach our aim, our intention, not to punish, but to yeah to let them to realize something and to change something, right? So is it hi hello Rose?
Yes, yes, I'm
Yeah,
here.
so here example the ha parenting, yeah, harsh parenting and physical punishment is so uh it has the side effect on our mental health.
Yes, definitely there is. If it is harsh and the punishment is really hard physical punishment.
Oh,
Okay, like for instance, deprived from eating. In other words, if the kids disobey the parents and the parents will punish the children by not having them food, or sometimes they hit them physical, like there is a stick hit the kids. These are no. These are not good. These are not good way of disciplining children, because these are punishment.
yeah.
When we say harsh parenting and physical punishment, the kids will just remember the physical pain. They
Mhm.
will not remember that the intention of the parents is to discipline. That's why in the practice of psychology, we keep on telling parents, we give advice to parents that you must know your children. You must know whether they can handle physical punishment or verbal punishment, because there is also verbal abuse. Well, some parents they say that we don't give physical we don't give physical punishment, but then they are using verbal abuse. What is verbal abuse? Saying bad words to the kids.
High speech, yeah,
Yes,
hurt people,
yes.
hurt your children.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The mental health will suffer so much with that. Always, yeah. To be a parent is not a joke. Is not a joke. Excuse me. To be a parent or to be a teacher is not a joke,
Yeah,
because discipline giving discipline to children is a very big responsibility. It's a very big responsibility,
yeah,
because when they grow up, what kind of personality they have is really the kind of discipline that we gave to our children when they were young. Well, some parents are telling that, oh, when my kids are young, I was very careful. I did my best to give them discipline. But when they grow up and they learn because they go to school, they are insisting on their rights, which is which is opposite of what the discipline that they gave. Some
Yes.
parents are complaining. Yes, some parents are complaining. Yes, because as we have said, people are different. We have individual differences. There are different personalities. Sometimes, but according to the theory in the study of developmental psychology, the discipline that these children receive from their parents will really have a positive effect will have a positive effect when they became an adult. When they become an adult, they will become a good people, good person. Very few cases that result in the opposite. Like when parents gave a very good discipline, not so harsh, just just a very good discipline. Some cases, because there are children that will abuse their parents as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will insist on their right. Like for instance, if you are in a country wherein children are allowed to call and the telephone to call the police and try to complain about their parents.
Yeah, here it's
Sometimes
very,
freedom, yeah,
yeah, here
very
it's very
common.
popular. Yeah, in Australia it is very popular.
Yes,
The children
yes.
are protected
Mm-hmm.
well by the police.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. And without realizing that children do not have yet the moral responsibility of what they are doing, they don't understand the
Yeah,
moral
no,
responsibility as well.
no.
Mhm. Even there are some parents who do not understand their moral responsibility in the same way that there are also children that do not understand their moral responsibility. That's why the government should be very careful. Okay,
Yeah.
so harsh parenting and physical punishment is really a risk factor, is a big factor for mental health condition of people. Okay, now if you are asking me now, so how can we discipline our children?
And
No matter what age.
yeah,
Yes, go ahead.
yeah, and Lotus, write something out, and so Lotus, would you like to get on mic and to speak out to Rose?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, Lotus, are you with us?
Okay, thank you, teacher. Thank you for your teaching. Uh, I think teaching a child is a very an important task for me. Um, in the life, my mentor taught me uh to encourage and guide her more than punish her harshly.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
So uh so I mm, really uh I really encourage and guide her uh much than punish her.
Oh, okay.
Yes, perfect. That's very good. Yes, especially this is more applicable to young adult, like teenagers. When the kids are already 12 years old, they understand what is discipline and what is punishment, right?
Yeah.
There are
Yeah,
some, yes, there are some kids, um by just telling them what is the consequences of their bad behavior, what will happen if they do this, if their actions are will hurt other people, or if there are bad consequences of their actions, they will be able to understand. Actually, in the developmental psychology, we are teaching that no matter what age, even if the child is only 5 years old, 3 years old, we have to explain. Even if they don't understand, we have to explain. So
yeah,
it's like, yes, sometimes for very young kids, like 2 years old to maybe 8 or 7, a reward is a way of encouraging children
Yeah.
because,
Eight to seven. 8 to 7.
mm-hmm,
Are you?
yes, yes, yes. Because the most important age in the life of the children is the formative years. We call it formative years, the age of 1 to 7. 1 to 7
Oh,
is a formative years. This is
yes.
very, very important. All the
Yes.
things that we want our kids to learn should be done here. So that's why I am telling to the parents, if you want to work abroad, you go out after age 7 of your children, because then they will be able to understand. But if you leave like age 3, 4, or 5, they will not understand. What is in their mind is you left them, you don't care about them. Even if your intention is to work so that you can give all their needs, they will not understand that. That's why it is very, very important. The 1 to 7 years old, it's called formative years.
Yes. 1 to 7. Formative
Yes,
years of design
yes,
development.
yes, right? That's why the very good teacher should
Uh,
be placed on those
Thank you
grade.
for my mentor. Yeah.
Yes. I had been I had been in the public school. I taught I handled elementary school children for 10 years before I moved to the university. Yes.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh,
Thank you.
hmm,
Yeah. Thank you, teacher.
yes. Thank you too. Thank you. All right. So, and then what about bullying? Bullying became famous also recently. No, not recently. Maybe 10 years ago. Oh my goodness. We have many cases of bullying. Bullying is really a risk factor that affects mental health condition. Well, bullying is not only true inside the school, inside the university. Not only true for young children, it is also true to all ages,
Yeah.
because
Wow.
there's bullying in the primary, in the elementary, in the secondary, in the tertiary, even in the workplace. Do you
Yeah.
Yeah.
agree?
You see, I wanted to send her abroad. Thank you.
Yes. Even in the place of work. In the place of work, there is also bullying, because, we cannot avoid competition, right? Competition in terms of things that we can do in the job so that we'll be promoted, or those who are aiming for promotion.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yes.
And
Sometimes they're,
yeah, bullying, and
yes, they're,
so 7 days ago, I heard about the bullying in the workplace, and it's very crucial. It's very bad.
oh, yes, it's very serious. It's a very serious problem, because bullying among adults is more serious than the bullying among children.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe
Hmm, hmm.
children, yeah, bullying for children, maybe not with the bad intention, but if
Hmm.
bullying, yeah, happens within the workplace, within adults, it is very serious. Yeah,
Oh, yes, it's very
harmful.
serious.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very serious. And if the emotion of the person is affected,
Mhm.
it's very dangerous, because sometimes there are some people, when we look at them, it seems that they are not affected, but we really don't know what is going on inside them, what is really going on inside their mind.
Yeah.
Because there are some people who are pretending that they are okay, but deep inside they are not. And then finally, we learn that they committed suicide.
Mhm.
Because they cannot handle. Because they cannot handle. It's so good. I am very thankful that I have this chance to share with you also what I learned in psychology,
Mhm.
because you know to to be able to take care of ourselves. If there are toxic people in the workplace or in any place in the environment, we have to go away from them so that we will not be affected. The very first person who will going to help is ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves. We
Yeah.
have to take care of our mental health. Always remember, if the mental health is affected by many problems, challenges in the environment, your whole person, the whole person will be affected. Your relation will be affected. Your family will be affected.
Exactly. So, and
Hmm.
yeah, the most important thing is to keep our mental health, yeah, on the top, and to let us
Hmm.
our mind in a
Hmm.
level of joy, and in that way we can survive this.
Yes, very good. So that we can survive. That's the most important. We can survive,
Yeah.
right? Okay. All right. I think this is the last one.
Okay.
Um, Now let's talk about the protective factors. When we say protective factors, what are the things that we can do in order to protect ourselves? What are the things that are in the environment that will protect our health, our specifically our mental health? So the protective factors are number one, individual, social, and emotional skills. Okay. So check yourself. Do you have that skills? How do you handle stress? How do you handle problems? Do you cry easily when you have problems? Do you run away if you have problems? There are people who are surrendering if they have problems, right? Always remember, for as long as we live, whether we're rich, whether we're poor, we will have problems. Life will always be the same. It's just a matter of how we perceive life. But it is more helpful if we have the skills, individual, social, and emotional skills. In other words, our mental health will be protected if we have this kind of skills. Like, for instance, emotional skills. We're not supposed to be very sensitive. Otherwise, you are just, it's like you're just punishing yourself if you are very sensitive. Don't think negatively. Like, for instance, in the teaching of Buddhism, I learned this loving kindness without judgment.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you are all practicing Buddhism because I know you are practicing that. No judgment. No judgment. I interpreted that in psychology as no negative thinking,
Mm,
right? No
yeah.
negative thinking. Whatever is the gesture, whatever is the behavior of the other person, think positive. Don't think negative because it will help your mental health. Okay? All
Yeah.
right. And then, of course, social skills. Social skill, it has something to do with interpersonal relation. Interpersonal relation. Your relation with other people. Do you know how to handle other people's behavior? We have to be aware that people have differences in terms of personality. There are different personality. There are kind people, there are bad people, there are good people, there are not so good people. That's life.
Mhm.
We have to accept that. Okay? As much as possible, we have to do good. Because when we do good to others, they will also do good with us. But what about if they will not do good? Well, it's not our problem anymore. If we do something good to them and they are not doing something good to us, then it's not our problem anymore. What is important is we did something good to them. Okay? All right. Attributes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Attributes have
Yeah.
something to do with the traits of the people. Traits. There are bad traits and there are good traits. And we cannot control this because these are hereditary. In other words, there are bad traits that we inherit from our parents. Sometimes we are not aware. So that's why if you have best friend, you have to ask them, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Because we cannot see ourselves, right? We cannot always see ourselves
Yeah.
unless,
Yeah.
unless,
Yeah.
unless we study.
Yeah.
Because when we study, our perception will become more wider, right? If
Yeah.
we cultivate ourselves, we will understand more. It is better to understand others than you requesting to be understood by others. Okay, so that's
Mhm.
attribute. And then positive social interaction. If you have a very good relation with other people, then problem will be less. Positive social interaction. It's very good to have friends. Sometimes, especially the ladies, if they are talking nonsense, sometimes it's so good, right? Yeah, it's necessary. It's also important for our mental health. Sometimes we're not supposed to be serious all the time. We have to be happy also, enjoy what is in the present moment. Okay.
Yeah.
And then number four is quality education. Of course, we mentioned that quality education. The more we learn, the more we understand. But at the same time, the more question that we will have. And then we will study again. That's continuous. That's why they say that learning is a lifelong process. Okay. A decent work, of course. In other words, a good work. Um, and then lastly is the safe neighborhood and community. Okay. If the people in the neighborhood or in the community are also kind people and you are also kind, you are a loving person, then you can say that this world is a better place to live, no matter how difficult. Still, the world is a better place to live. Right? Okay, so these are only some of the protective factors. In other words, these things will help us to help our mental health. In other words, to give us a very good health in terms of mental health. Okay, I think that's the last one. Do we still have last? Um, okay. This one is very general. Do we still have time?
Yeah, time is over, and yeah, 12 minutes over. So,
Oh,
and
so sorry.
so no worries about that. And you can, yes, have a conclusion on this
Mm-hmm.
if possible.
Okay.
Mhm.
So these are just mental health promotion and prevention. As we keep on saying, prevention is better than cure, right? It is better to prevent than to cure. In other words, we need to do something before the problem so that we will not reach the point wherein we will suffer from the problem. Now, these are the effort. Number one is reshaping the determinants of mental health. We have to know, we have to reshape, we have to modify the determinants, the cause or the things that will trigger, that will help the mental health condition of the person. Suicide prevention is a global priority and included, in other words, included in the program of every sector in the government of every country, promoting child and adolescents' mental health. Okay, the school has something to do with it also, and then promoting and protecting mental health at work. Okay, now what we are trying to say here in terms of mental health is that um, physical health is important, mental health is also important because going back again, I cannot forget this. Anything psychological is biological. Anything biological is psychological. So if we want to take care of the physical body, we have to take care of the mind because it is also part of the body. And the very first person that will help ourselves or that will help you is yourself. You must know what are the things that will help you to improve or maintain a very good mental health. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, so excited to hear that. Yeah, exciting.
If you have any question, you can ask me now.
Yeah, I had the let's check it out, and we would like to write something on it. Okay, just like you leave some homework for us, such as positive social interactions, how to carry out. Yeah, maybe if I will write something, write a short AC after class. Okay, next time if we have time, I would like to talk to you. Is it okay for you?
Yeah, sure, sure.
I like to explore on this
Mm-hmm.
topic. It's very
Mm-hmm.
important.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's very important.
Yes,
That's
after
part of
doing this topic.
interpersonal. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for your contribution, Rose, and cannot wait next time. Yeah, cannot wait your
Mm-hmm.
next lecture. So,
Mm-hmm.
what's the next topic? Except the mental health. So next topic of your lecture.
Okay. Since the common psychological problem or concern are about anxiety, depression, or maybe anger management, I will give you the topic and then I will ask you, maybe you can help me to ask the participants which topic they want me to discuss, which is related or maybe psychological disorder like schizophrenia. I will give you the topics and then you just have to tell me which of the topic is the interest of the participants who are all here now.
Yeah, so great. I'd like
Okay?
to do the
Mm-hmm.
questionnaire for you. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sure. Or maybe interpersonal relation, how to improve relation with others.
Mm, yes,
Mm-hmm.
very important.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, yeah, you can list out all the topics and I will do the questionnaire, yeah, among our participants. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good night, Rose. Take good
Mm.
care. Sleep tight. It's a bit late here. Okay. All right. Good night again.